About a man setting a level of excellence in his field. His job in San Francisco requires setting levels. We'll see audio levels because he is a radio engineer. He is considered one of the best around, and that is in spite of the fact that he is not able to see what he's doing. Sandra Stricker has a story.
Meet Paul Stebbins, radio engineer. Watching Paul work, it may be easy to forget that he's blind. Paul was blinded at birth when he was given too much oxygen in his incubator.
Life is a song worth singing.
On the one hand, that did cost me my sight, but on the other hand, it kept me alive, which I'm very thankful for, and it gave me a good mind. It allowed my brain to develop, and I'm very thankful for. I've just taken my blessings, I've taken the positive points and worked with them because that's all I have.
Don't blame your life on a master plan. Change it.
Paul has a reputation as one of the finest engineers in the Bay Area. He'll tell you it's because he likes his job and because he works hard at it every day. Another reason he's successful, though, is because he's not treated like somebody special.
Say you're on KMBR.
Paul's first week on the job 6 years ago was as stressful as anyone's, except that on his own time he had to memorize where everything was and label all the equipment in Braille. He had some bad moments.
I went to activate the emergency tone, and the equipment to activate the tone was removed from the rack for maintenance. No one told me about it, and I was frantically feeling for switches that weren't there.
You hold a key in of your hand. Use it.
But Paul didn't give up, and things quickly got better. Because he could not see hand signals, Paul helped install this cue button.
I'll see you right after the news.
When it rings in the control room, Paul's reactions are almost instantaneous.
I'm just checking the calibration now.
0496496.
Paul helped to design this voice synthesizer so he could check transmitter power. It works so well, the company now wants its sighted engineers to use it to check calibrations by telephone. Paul's boss told us what makes a good radio engineer and why Paul qualifies.
A good ear for the music that's being played, the ability to work with other people well, and Paul does all of these things very well, and but his sense of timing is just excellent. He has a good ear.
One day, 6 years ago, a jockey Paul had been working with for just a few weeks dedicated a song to him on the air. The jock told his audience that he'd had his doubts about working with a blind engineer, but that Paul had taught him something very important.
Only you generate the power to decide what to do with your life.
When he actually dedicated that record to me, it brought tears to my eyes, and I felt then at that point I was in.
You're a fool if you think you're helpless. You control what you do with your life.
In San Francisco, Sandra Stricker, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Paul told us he'd like to try working in television, but his dream is to someday own his own radio station.